How much longer will you keep feeding yourself these lies? How much longer will you keep feeding yourself these distractions? These things that keep you comfortable, these things that pull you away from who you really want to be, that take you away from the reality that you want to live. And how many more lies will you feed yourself? How many more false dreams, false realities will you feed yourself before you decide to make a change? Now, what I'm talking about is, you know, life in general. What do you want to do with life? Only you know, only you can find out. But this is something that has helped me reassess, take a step back, and figure out what I actually want to do in life. Now, I just want to go back to a sort of Taxi Driver again. I talked about it in the last video. Love that movie, love the character Travis Bickle. And he says he's in the cab and he's driving around and he's super monotonous with his life. I'm working long hours, 6 in the afternoon, 6 in the morning, sometimes even 8 in the morning, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. It's a long hustle, but it keeps me real busy. I can take in $350 a week, sometimes even more when I do it off the meter. And what this is kind of alluding to is the grind, the illusion of success, the illusion of making progress. And it's not. I guarantee you he does not want to be sitting in that cab driving around picking up thugs, picking up hookers, picking up the slime, the scum of the earth. I mean, he even says someday a real rain will come out and wash all the scum off these streets. And that's true. And whether that is a physical deliverance, like an actual act of justice, or is a quite literally you removing yourself from these situations. What I'm talking about is removing yourself from these situations that make you unhappy. Remove yourself from these people that are detracting from your life. Remove yourself from these ideas that make you weak, that really do program your subconscious mind and tell you that you're a loser. Anything that is going to tell you that you're a loser, that you can't do it, that you can't make it, it will lead to that result. So whatever demons that you're facing, in the dark, like whatever addictions you may have that are holding you back, whether it's staying up late, whether it's video games, whether it's, Instagram, TikTok, social media, porn, whatever it is distracting you, you need to pull away, come back, reassess your life, and find out what it is you really want, and understand that these distractions are not helping you get there. Now, for me, I did have a goal that was sort of a false reality fed to me by my peers, some of my family members, about the American dream, about owning a house, having kids, and owning a house. Some of these things did work out, like getting a wife. That's one of the most fantastic things in my life, and I hope everybody out there gets to experience true love in the world. It really is great. But the dream of owning a house, having a child, doing the typical human homestead type of thing is not for me. It is not for me. I didn't want that dream when I was younger. I never really saw myself as a parent, saw myself as a dad. It's not going to be for me. I don't want that. What I want is to travel the world. I've always wanted to travel the world. I was always traveling since I've been young. I was in a touring band when I was 19, not important, but I did tour. I went all the way up the West Coast, the Midwest, and I touched the East Coast. I touched Toronto. I went to France. So all of these things are very important to me, is to travel or to go, to get out in the world, to get away from the society that I live in. And not to get away from society, but the quote that really stuck with me when I was young is, knowledge without mileage is nothing. That's a Henry Rollins quote, but knowledge without mileage means nothing. And for me, that really hit me hard, that hit me deep in the chest. And I said, you know what? I do want to see the world. I was fascinated with Japan since I was young. It was the castles. I remember reading a book about castles when I was young, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, you have the typical English castles made out of stone, and then you have these beautiful timber frame castles in Japan, the Himeji Castle, tons of other shrines. I can't list them all right now, it's too distracting from the rest of the video. But the point is that this inspired a true dream for me. And a lot of the times I've suppressed this dream. I've suppressed this dream for a false dream, okay? A false dream of an illusion of grandeur, of, oh, it'll be so great when I own a house. And then I'll pay rent. I'll pay rent to the government after I own it. I'll pay property taxes until I'm dead. And it's very tempting because everyone else is doing it. But I need you to pull away from what everyone else is doing, because it doesn't matter. You are not living their life. You are living your life. So pull away from that and realize that you have the ability to change your own mind. You have the ability to change your course in life. Now, it's not something as simple as you just going to think, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire, and then you're going to be a millionaire. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that there are ways to reach your goals, and there are ways to smash and destroy your limiting beliefs. I had a lot of limiting beliefs that were stopping me from traveling. I said, oh, I need to have $10,000 in the bank. I need to have $20,000 in the bank. I need to have a security place. I need to have somewhere to live when I get back from traveling. I need to have a secure place for me to go when I'm done traveling. I need to have this, such and such. And all these things are distractions, because what do I want to do? I want to travel. What does owning a house have to do with traveling? I don't know. I'm not really sure how those correlate. So shaving down these distractions and getting closer to your actual goal, something that you want, is so important. For me, that's traveling. For me, that's getting away and experiencing other cultures and experiencing other worlds. Not going to their countries, not going to other countries and imposing my American ideologies on them. I want to absorb other countries' ideologies. I want to absorb other religions. I want to absorb other cultures. I want to absorb other foods. I want to absorb other palates. These are all things that I'm just, it's kind of a long list at this point, but it's important. I really do have a lust for adventure, and that is something that is genuinely dead in this world. You know, like I said, John D. Rockefeller, he paid for all the schools, he paid to institutionalize the education system, and he says, I want a bunch of workers. I don't want thinkers, I want workers. And that's kind of what we're taught. We're taught to absorb the American dream, to absorb wanting to have children, to absorb wanting a household. And all of these things are distractions from what's real. All of these things are very pretty on paper, but they're probably not what you want. It's not what I want, and that's kind of where I'm projecting onto you. But I really do not care about any of that. I want to live my very short existence on this planet as an adventurer. I want to go out and see the world. I understand that there's a necessary evil in working a monotonous job, in living a monotonous lifestyle, but it is not going to benefit me to do that and sacrifice my youth, sacrifice my dreams for a little bit of comfort when I'm over the hill, when I'm 60 and 80 and saying, oh, well, I'll finally have a retirement. I can finally relax. Because you know what happens to people that relax? They die. Okay? And I don't mean that, like I said, you don't need to grind infinitely. What I'm saying is that people that don't do anything, they end up dying. Okay? Most people that retire, if they don't have a hobby, they don't pursue something, they don't have goals, dreams, they end up dying. Okay? So if you set the habit of forming goals, chasing after goals, figuring them out when you are young, you will live a long, happy life. It is not that hard, man. And a big thing is getting rid of all these distractions, right? So whatever is distracting you from your true goals, whether it be outside ideas, whether it be Instagram, whether it be porn, whether it be social media, whether it be content, whether it be bad food, sleep deprivation, video games. You know what it is. You know what is distracting you from what you really want. And if it does not have a direct correlation to your goal, cut it out. Like I said, owning a home, traveling. Not related at all. Not related, not necessary to own a home, to travel. It's not necessary to travel to own a home. So, like I said, I think we're getting a little long-winded in this video, but I will be traveling to Japan in a few months. I will be uploading my first couple travel video vlogs. I've finally worked it out in my head on how I'm going to make that happen, and I'm very excited, and I'm very much in love with the idea of the life that I have out set in front of me. So just one more thing I want to end on is that you need to love the life that you are going to live. So if you're not in love, if the dream that you are putting in front of you exhausts you, it makes you feel tired, it makes you feel trapped, let go. Let go of that dream. The dream that is going to give you freedom is the dream that's going to make you happy. And like I said before, it takes the same amount of effort to dream up a small dream as it does a humongous dream. So dream large and push yourself to attain those goals no matter what. And if it is stopping you, whatever it is stopping you, whatever is hindering your progress towards that goal, cut it out. Cut it out, make the change, and become the person that you want to be. Not that your parents want you to be, not that your peers want you to be, the person that you want to be. Because your life is so short, you will die one day, and if you do not accomplish what you want to accomplish, that's on you, okay? And that's on me. So I'm going to travel. I'm making things happen. I'm pulling the strings. I'm cutting my losses. And I'm trimming down the fat, right? I'm going without, okay? I'm becoming an aerodynamic machine that is built for traveling the world, that is built to go to distant far lands and experience other cultures and become a worldly person. So I hope that helps. A little bit ranty, a little bit wobbly. I will try to get better when I'm filming these videos, being more concise. But, you know, it only happens with practice. So it has been some time since I've uploaded. I will be back again next week with another banger. Thank you for all the support on the channel. We are at 500 subscribers. And keep blowing today's back out, guys. Seriously, blow today's back out. Chase your dreams. And I love you. Big fat chef's kiss. Mwah.